All right, welcome to my channel. So the first thing that you need to know before you start watching my videos is the purpose of this channel is for education and entertainment, mostly education with some entertainment, and mostly for my students. Really, it's an opportunity for me to showcase my algorithm and for my students to see it working and me to be able to talk about the trades and why I'm taking the trades and things like that. This is not a channel where I'll be showing you that I'm making millions of dollars. So family rules, you won't be seeing that. Some traders out there want to put their stuff out. I don't even know why they do that. Like on social media in a public sphere, hey, look at me, I made 20,000 today, 50,000 today, all that stuff. That will not happen on this channel. The most you'll see me making here is anywhere from 50 bucks to $1,000 in a day would be the most once we get to that level of scaling. And then I'll reset and we'll be looking at 50 bucks and we'll be scaling back to, a thousand a day or so. And we'll just keep resetting that scaling. But family rules will not be showing you on this my social media that I'm making tons of money. Second thing is I'm trading with Thinkorswim. That's my platform that you see here on the screen. So you got my two windows on futures trading. Same thing, it'll be Thinkorswim. So you'll see that I trade futures and the equities market with these videos. I trade based off of my algorithm, the simple switch algorithm, and it's got different settings. Same algo, but different settings for futures market, for equities market, and different types of trading. It's got different settings for it. So I'll be trading off of that. Links below if you're interested in learning more about the algo. All the education over there is free, as well as the trading log that you'll see. You can get the link below, which will give you that log, so you can go over there and explore all that stuff. So when you're looking at my screen, okay, now when you're looking at my screen, you'll see these the chart markups, and you'll see yellow. Wherever I put yellow is an entry. So when it's yellow like this, it's the algo ideal entry. And then you may see a yellow like this, and that is where I actually got in, and it'll be touching the candle that I got in on. And then the location. Red are my stops, green are my targets. And then if you want to learn how the algo works so you can better understand what I'm doing when I'm doing my trades, over at the link below, you can go over there and learn all about the algo. It's completely free for that whole education. It's free to learn about my trading plan, my strategy, everything that I teach about trading is free over there. Only thing that costs money is if you decided to buy the algo, then that would cost money. But you can apply a lot of the stuff that I teach over there, including my strategy and trading plan, to your own strategies and help maybe improve your game. So all that is definitely free. I don't charge for any of that education. Only the algo if that's something you decided to add to your list. So then sometimes you'll see on here me doing experiments, which I'm going to try to do another one later on this year when I get a little more time. But I love to do trading experiments. We blow up accounts, but we do it in the purpose of education, showing you that certain trading techniques or strategies sometimes just don't work. And we play with some different concepts and blow up accounts, real accounts, small accounts, but still real accounts. And you'll also see some small accounts as well, like when we do offshore brokers and things like that. So, and then of course, educational videos I'll be putting out as well. So there's a lot of different content here. So if you can give me the like, hit that like button, that would help me a lot with the YouTube. And if you subscribe and hit that bell icon, you can be notified whenever I upload new content. And the last thing, but probably the most important thing, is trading is very risky. Do not place a trade based on what you see here or whatever I say. I'm not telling you what to do. If it sounds like I'm telling you what to do, it's me just thinking out loud. And most traders will lose all of their money. I am strictly speculating. I do not have a crystal ball. So, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. So please do not take financial advice from me. This is strictly to talk about how I trade, to teach about how I do things, and for your entertainment. All right, so now the legal stuff is out of the way. Let's get into today's trades. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Today is September 8th, so no trades on JD today. JD, I traded on the switchback up to 12:30, and we never had any switches. So no switchback. So no trade on JD. But I do want to go over something with you on time frames with a other trade I took in my family account today. More of just a dabble than a trade, but let me show it to you because there might be something you can learn from it. Okay, so here we are with BBIG. So on this ticker, I was in a business meeting this morning, so I knew I wasn't going to really be focused on it. But I wanted to be in the game because it's just more fun. So I had this gap trade set up. It was, everything was right about the trade. So I put a small little thing on it, kind of like when you go to the casino or whatever, and you just put like $1 or $5 or whatever it is, just to be in the game, because it makes it more fun than just watching what's going on without being involved. That's pretty much what I did, knowing that I would be potentially distracted during my business meeting, which is kind of nice. You can be on a Zoom meeting now and have your charts up on your other monitors and trades. Pretty sweet. Instead of having to go someplace and you're like, I don't want to keep checking my phone and be kind of rude in the meeting. So it makes it a little nicer. But anyway, so here we are. So BBIG. So right here, my algo told me to jump in long right here, looking for this target, and then my stop is right in here. So there's something to look at though, is time frames. So one thing I teach over on my website is there's two things with the algo that I have to watch out for. And it's really mostly just these two things. Everything else really solid with the algo. And that is glitches, which we've talked about in other videos, and tower candles. And what I've mentioned in the past is that if I program those out of the algo, like if I program the algo to say, hey, when these show up, don't flag a trade kind of thing, then actually with every ticker I've tested it with, it costs money at the end of the year. Like I could have made, say, 100 grand this year had I just traded all of those with the losers. But to program them out, now I'm only making like 70 grand this year. So if you do a direct comparison. So it was better to leave them in and just be aware of them and how to trade those anomalies when they show up. So not really an anomaly in the algo, it's just an anomaly in the market. You get these giant moves that happen sometimes, and then the algo sees it as a trade. But then there's also the psychology that goes into those moves, where a lot of times, you have a giant move, you have people that take profit. And when you take people that take profit, you have a retracement of the candle, and then you have other people get interested in getting in because it pulled back, right? They didn't want to chase it. They saw it going all the way up, and they're like, oh, I don't want to chase this. It's going all the way up. Let me show you an example. Let me move this to the daily. And then we'll click that so we can see it. Well, where are we at here? All right, cool. So, you get this giant move that takes place, and now it's way up here, and it's like, man, do I want to get into this right now? Or even better, let's move it to the weekly. Let's get even more drastic, right? So you see this giant move, and it's like, do I want to be in way up here? Like, who wants to jump in up there? There are obviously people jumping in up here because it still went higher, but I don't want to be one of those people, and a lot of traders don't. They want to wait for a retracement, let it settle down, get a more realistic price, because giant thing like this is more than likely going to retrace. We all know that. So we wait for that retracement to take place. And then when, for whatever reason it is in our own mind psychologically, whether we're trading on an algo or we saw a candlestick pattern, or, we're good because we're just going to, jump in for a long-term swing. Who knows what the reason is, but we get to a spot where we feel good and we decide to get in. And it's not common for a lot of people to get in way up here. Although even like right up here, it's like, who would be a buyer of this? And there's people trying to scalp on it, with those scalpers driving it up, so someone can hold the bag, right? So retracement is likely. So when an algo indicates a trade and there's a massive candle like this, then a lot of times I know retracement's likely, and I can factor that into my trade. So now we go to today, and let's scroll way back forward. All right, so here we are today. So we have this trade that sets up right here. Not a tower candle, right? We're on a 5-minute candle, not a tower candle. But one thing that I look at a lot of times with my gap trades, which I didn't do this morning, because like I said, I was just throwing pennies at it just to be in the game. Had I put a bigger investment on it, I would have liked to think that I would have did a little more homework, paid a little more attention, but because this is a losing trade. So I ended up getting in here. And then the trade comes all the way back down. I added to my position somewhere in here, 1086. So right up in here, right near the top of this red candle. I added to my position, which is not a bad place to add. Much better to add way down here, right? But not a bad place to add. And then I got stopped out when we tripped my stop on this candle here, which was stupid. Absolutely stupid to get stopped out here for a couple reasons. One, as I teach constantly on the channel and on the site, is low of day usually provides some support to try to make low of day. And my stop's pretty close to low of day, pretty close to the low of day. So now I'm thinking, I should have been thinking, should I put my stop at low of day? Is there any reason to do that? So, and then one of the reasons to do that is it's not really shown here on this chart. That's the thing. Time frames matter, traders. So you have to look at different time frames to get different pictures, and you might be able to get a better idea of what's going on if you look at several time frames. So if we go and I'm going to click over to 10 minute because I don't have that in my default right now. All right, so now we're on the 10-minute time frame. What do we see in the 10-minute time frame? A tower candle. Why is it a tower candle? Because it's a massive candle that switches with the square inside the candle. That's what makes it a tower candle as part of my algo, my strategy. So we have a massive tower candle, and as I keep on saying, tower candles like to retrace half or all. Doesn't matter if it's in the 5-minute time frame, a 1-hour time frame, whatever. If there's a tower candle, a lot of times I see retracement of that candle. Now, not always. Sometimes it just boosts on its way up. But I know that retracement is likely of some kind, and it's kind of expected. So when I see this retracement take place, then I should say to myself, oh, we're retracing this tower candle. All right, we got halfway retracement. Now will it move forward, or is it going to want to retrace, all of it? Well, clearly this one wanted to retrace most of it, and it retraced most of it and then went higher. So this looks bullish. It's trading inside this zone here. So now I would have been like, you know what? I should put my stop at the bottom of this, but I don't want to lose that much money. Well, then don't have that many shares, right? I had plenty of opportunity after I made the mistake to go ahead and say, you know what? I'm going to reduce my shares, take some profit, reduce my shares because my stop should be down here, and I don't want to risk that much. Now, when I trade, traders, I don't trade, and put my stop in right here because I don't want to lose more than $100. I put my stop in where it's supposed to be. And right now, the stop really should have been down here. But going back to the 5-minute candle, I put it at the normal algo trigger, which is right here. But because there really is that big fat tower candle that's right there, and you can kind of, even just looking back here, looking at this, right? Clearly there's something going on here. So and we're trading inside this channel, and I put my stop near the bottom of the channel. That's a place to add to my position, not get stopped out. Like if I want to buy this long, low risk, right in here is where the place to buy it long, and then have a low risk, right? Because then your stop is just below and you have all this upside potential. Like, what are you doing? So I'm getting stopped out like an idiot. So let's go look at some other time frames. So then we go to the 15-minute time frame, and you can see it doesn't look so great. Doesn't look. You can clearly see some consolidation channel in here, but same thing. I'm getting stopped out down here, and it's like, why are you getting stopped out at the bottom of the channel? And then if we bump this up to a 1-hour chart, now how does this trade look? Trade looks pretty great, right? We got this nice up move. We got our consolidation. We're trying to break out of that consolidation. We're right inside there, right? So this is looking pretty solid. If it breaks below, then maybe it's game over. But if it breaks above, we could have a nice boost. Well, what kind of boost can we have? We go back and we look at the daily candles. And we're like, whoa, there's this thing really lately people are paying attention to this, and this thing can really fly. And then we back it out to the weekly chart, and then we say, whoa, that's happened in the past a bunch of times. Let's zoom out so we can get a better picture of it. And we say, yeah, this has definitely happened a bunch of times in the past. And then what usually happens? It doesn't hold, right? So maybe I want to make sure I'm not in this overnight, because look at these, or even towards the end of the day, right? That's usually when these wicks are made, towards the end of the day. So maybe I need to make sure I'm out of this trade before the end of the day or the end of the week on the weekly candle. We're on the weekly there. So towards the end of the week, I don't want to be in here. Beginning of the week, end of the week, right? Beginning of the week, end of the week. So Thursday, Friday, which is tomorrow, I do not want to be a part of this trade. So if I did trade it, I make sure I'm going to get out of it before the night's over. So you see how looking at different time frames, traders, can really help you out on making your trade decisions. Let's go down to the 1-minute time frame here. So let's go, because you didn't know what's happened already. So this is what, during my trade, when I'm getting in the trade right here, this is what I'm seeing. So we're coming down, we're on our way back up, right? Looks nice, but we could still be in this this channel, but whatever, I'm in, right? We could come to the top of the channel. It's near my target. Good, make my money. But then we have this breakdown happen again. And again, I can see that there's something going on here at the bottom. But if I'm just looking at this picture, then I might not see that. I might be like, oh, this is breaking down, or right in here. I look at it come up and I'm like, oh no, this might be breaking down. We have a high, we have a low, we have a lower high, a lower low, right? But then we came up and we made a higher high, barely, and now we're coming back down. And I might get nervous and I might get out, But if I zoom out a little bit, and I can see, oh, look, this is a huge support area. I'm going to add to my position there and then put my stop and make sure it breaks below that support. So let's talk about that. So let's go to, I think this is the 5-minute candle. There we got a good example of it. 10-minute candle maybe. There's, I was looking at earlier, one of these candles, 15. Yeah, 15 is not too bad. We can look at the 15. So, if one thing you got to be careful of is support and the resistance areas, right? Not numbers. So a lot of times we get, as traders, we'll look at a thing and we'll say, let me go to the 10-minute time frame. I just want it to be a little more clear. No, not that. 10-minute right there. All right. So, all right, cool. So, we can look at this and say, right here we got some support right here, potentially, right? Come up, we got a little bit, it stopped, then we get through, get some support maybe, comes back down, hits that same area, okay, confirms some support. And then, sometimes as traders, what we'll do is we'll say, I'm going to put my stop right here at the bottom of this. I'm going to get in and put my stop right here at the bottom of this. But it's not necessarily a number. Like, support is usually an area. An area is usually what support is. Sometimes that support is right from where support was to where resistance was, and it could be a big area. So if you put your stop right there, then when this candle came through, you got stopped out, or if you shorted this trade because it's breaking support. No, it's just going into the area. But if you shorted it and then you would have got caught and you would have, took a loss, or you would have got stopped out and then you would have took a loss, right? While it rallied without you. And you'd be like, oh, the market hates me. It just bounced me out. Why did it come down and just tick me out and go higher? Like, the market makers are against me. No, you put your stop in the wrong spot. So, if it's, again, don't think of support and resistance as an exact number. Think of it as an area. All right. So let's go back to the 5-minute chart. So yeah, so that's what I did. So I ended up getting in here, and then when it came back down, I started add to my position there, and then this should have been my next add somewhere in this area, not my stop. And clearly, when I went to the 10-minute candle, you saw that nice tower candle. Here the trade is not so obvious. It's obvious now that I'm looking at it. Trading's 2020. It's easy to look back, but it's not as obvious. But then when I went to the 10-minute candle and looked at it, and it became very obvious. Like, clearly my stop should have been here. How stupid. Clearly, if I got it and then realized, oh, my stop should be down here, not here, I could have took profit, no problem. I had plenty of opportunity to take some profit and to reduce my risk, right? If I only want to lose $100, it's not by the location I put my stop, it's by the share size. I think that's another big mistake traders make, is they try to do risk management by where they put their stop, not by their share size. Like, position sizing is the way to do it, in my opinion, not by just saying or picking a random spot, because that's where you're going to lose a dollar amount. That doesn't make any sense. And again, trading is risky, traders. My results are not typical. You have to trade trade your own strategy, do your own thing. Don't copy me. But I just want to throw stuff out there to create thought, not to tell you what to trade and all that jazz. So you got to make your own decisions. But I just want to give you some thought. Some stuff that I see, some stuff that affects me. You can reflect on how that affects your trading, and then go from there and help use that to build your plan, your strategy, and just continue learning. So yeah, so changing time frames can definitely change clarity, as well as zooming out. You can definitely get a different picture that may also be able to help you out too. So be careful, traders. Don't spend so much time looking at your chart so tight like this, because you may not be getting the big picture and seeing what's really going on if you're too tight. And then also, if you trade on the 1 minute, 5 minute, whatever it is, maybe you check some other time frames. A lot of traders will have other charts up that'll have other time frames with the same ticker, and you can always link your chart, the Thinkorswim, you can link your different charts right here. So once you put your ticker, all your charts change, and then when you look at it, you get a different picture. You almost get a more complete picture when you have your different time frames that you can scroll through and help you make better decisions. Had I not been focused on my other stuff, this would have been a very different trade. Came up, hit profit here and here. Easy money, but I screwed it up, took a very tiny loss. Again, who cares? I just bought enough just to be in the game for fun, so whatever. It's like soda money, but still, it's a loss when it should have been a win had I just been paying attention. All right, everybody, hope that helps you out. Hope you learned something from that. And tomorrow, I should be back tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. All right, everybody, later.